Today's episode of Mob Rules is brought to you by Werther's Originals. Get those delicious, tasty candies any place you can buy old people stuff.
I remember back in my day when product was priced by letters and Forge World was bought in pounds. I know, that's about the only old man things I can think of right now.
Back when you had to ride your dinosaur uphill both ways to the Forge World store. Oh, I see how it is. You managed to get the soundboard working for me.
I did. Yep.
It begins.
It begins. Oh, man. You guys should have said you liked the soundboard. Hey, welcome to Mob Rules. I'm John, joined as always by
Dave.
And Danny.
And we are here today. Hopefully uploaded on iTunes this time. Sorry, boys. Apparently, when you do the rating is not set, they just don't upload you.
Oh,
So, I guess the last episode is like kind of like a chase variant.
so yeah, that's like unrated Mob Rules unrated.
Yeah, there was
That's what it is.
Mob Rules unrated.
Mob Rules After Dark.
No, that doesn't deserve a drum roll. But yeah, so sorry about that. I'm looking at probably trying to get it up just on iTunes, but I don't know how to do that without kind of making 75 YouTube videos of the podcast. I think I'm at 3 right now, so
Yeah, and each one has like 12 views. It's interesting.
I know. It's like it's like half of our normal viewership over 2 videos.
Exactly.
Ratios. It's all kind of fun. What's up, Dave? How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty solid.
Dave, you're a little tournament player now, aren't you? A little filthy competitive gamer.
I was always a filthy competitive gamer, but I just don't like to go out and let people see that side of me. I prefer to, seem like the nice, doddering old man. People don't like it when you stomp the ever-living shit out of them when they think you shouldn't.
Well, that's why they like you. You never stomp the ever-living shit out of anyone.
You try though, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I try hard. I'm a tournament tryhard. So, hey, John, what have you been up to?
No, dude, I set you up so good.
Oh, no, I'm passing the ball back. I want to hear from John first.
Well, what do we hear from me? Well, Jesus, I played a game. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah?
I played a narrative game as well.
Yeah.
And I only got like mildly competitive.
Good job, John.
After a good month of just like filling myself with orcs, giggity. Why didn't I have the drum roll then? After a good month, kind of like filling myself with orcs and kind of like going in the codex, looking at all that other stuff. It was finally time for a narrative campaign to start, which I forgot that I said I was running Eldar for the time. Now, when I said this, I hadn't seen the orc book, so it makes sense. But so out of the cupboard, the old Elatalk Eldar came. A 2,000 point mission against my friend Nate. It was actually really fun to go back to Eldar. I know, like the times I was playing orcs since the book dropped, my plan was run forward quickly, charge, roll dice.
Yeah, that's orky.
And like had to have it actually think about how I'm moving. It was kind of like a nice, refreshing change to the thing. So I continue kind of like the evolution of my list. So I can tell I have my Dire Avengers. Obviously, I think every list I make Eldar-wise is going to have like a huge contingent of Dire Avengers.
Yeah.
So I had Azerman and his bodyguard of 9 Dire Avengers and a Dire Avenger Exarch with like 2 guns. Then I had 3 squads of 8 Dire Avengers, including an Exarch. And I had a unit of 5 Rangers. I had a Farseer, a Warlock, and an Autarch. I had 2 Hemlock Wraith Fighters. And then new to this list was I had a Wave Serpent with Wraith Blades and a Wave Serpent with Wraith Guard. With their
Nice.
deflamers.
So which one did you like better?
The Wraith Blades, surprisingly, because like you look at that profile, and I've just been spoiled by Hemlocks, I think, because like I'm shooting them like, yeah, strength 12, yeah, and I was 1 damage. Oh, but Dad, all my other D guns have 2 damage
Or more.
yeah. But it was like I said, they did really well, and like I'm really surprised because I've never really I know Danny, we've talked before about kind of like how I love the Wraithguard models.
Sure.
I love the Wraith Blades. They look amazing. But I'm like, man, a 3-up save, man, that's awful. And then I'm like, as we're playing the game, Nate's like, oh, what toughness are your Wraithguard? I'm like, 5. Oh, no, 6.
Yeah, they got an upgrade from the index.
Oh crap! Okay, so toughness 6. Okay, I see that. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to overcharge my plasma, and he fires a bunch of plasma at me. And I'm like, okay, that's one wound doing 2 damage. And I'm like, oh, okay, one's dead. Oh no, they have 3 wounds.
Yep, they have. Yeah.
So the whole T6 3 wounds for me really negates the 3-up save, and then also kind of put them in a wave serpent. Also kind of found the
So you can Roomba.
the amazingness of wave serpents. Jesus Christ, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, they're really good.
Like he had a big unit of Hellblasters where I'm like, well, shit, okay. But I just Roomba'd a wave serpent into the side. And for our listeners who aren't aware, Roombaing is essentially just charging something with a wave serpent to tie it up.
Or a repulsor.
Or a repulsor. Anything with the
Yeah.
fly keyword, pretty much. You just kind of boop in them. And I joke with Nate that every time I Roomba, I hear the beep, beep, beep. Like this really slowing brushing to the side. And then I totally forgot until he started shooting at the wave serpent that when their serpent shields are still up, they -1 on all damage.
Yeah, from shooting.
Shooting, yeah.
Down to 1 it.
Down to 1. So, but no, when he's shooting at me with like overcharged Hellblasters, it's like flat 2 damage, and I'm like, or 1.
Yeah.
Also, I have Spirit Stones, which always take your Spirit Stones. This is something I've continued to learn. But it was a fun game. It got a little one-sided towards the end there. A couple of small errors Nate made. I would say in deployment, he put a nice...
That's at the beginning.
Yeah. Well, he put a nice 2 Hemlock-sized hole right behind his Wolf Lord on a Thunderwolf, which was his Warlord.
Oh.
Oof.
So turn 1, I kind
Ouch.
of parked 2 Hemlocks right beside his Warlord and shot I think 10 D-Scythe shots at his Warlord turn
Yikes.
1, and it just kind of evaporated off the table.
Yeah, I could see that.
That's going to happen.
That's hurtful.
That's hurtful.
It's a fun narrative game. We're just having fun. Your dude's dead.
Well, dude, so I'm sitting there. I was like, you know what? I never take Wraithguard. I'm going to take Wraithguard. That's my fun narrative thing. I'm like, oh
Nice.
no, these things murder things.
That's
and
my
then-
fun narrative.
And then it
Wraithguard.
turned into a thing like he outflanked a bunch of Wolfen and he outflanked some aggressors. And then it just turned into the thing that I learned playing against you, Danny, where I can run away faster than you can move on almost both of those units.
For sure.
Yeah.
So I just ran away from the units, and they're just like shaking their fists angrily in the distance.
I don't have to fight you.
While firing some shots at you from the.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah.
aggressors.
I mean, I know, I joke, but there was times he was like, okay, my aggressors are going to fire at this squad. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go grab a beer. Just roll dice. I'll be back.
Tell me how many models died.
Tell me how many saves I got to make, because, it's crazy. But I found against Primaris, especially, Jinx. Man, Jinx does work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so -1 to their save. He had 1 big unit of Hellblasters. I doomed and jinxed.
Ooh.
And just,
It's like the first and then second best psychic powers in the game, probably.
Right, for sure. Because
Yeah.
then you have that unit of Hellblasters, right? 2 wounds each, sure. But on 6s, they're -4, right? Or to their save, pretty much, right? So
Yep.
4 -3. And all the regular ones are saving on 4s. So it's a little better chance. And it just...
But no, it's significantly better, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it just melts stuff away. And I'm seer counseling, so it's going off. Or Runes of the Far Searing, so it's going off. And Eldar is just a really tricky army to counter in the psychic phase, especially when I'm bringing 3 psychers.
Yeah. Well,
Or 4, including the planes. I'm sorry, yeah.
but to be honest, right? That is one of the army's best strength.
Oh,
their
for sure.
strength is their psychic phase. So
Yeah, I mean, he got
Yeah.
the Wolfen into combat, and all my stuff melted. So yeah.
they just
Well,
dies.
That's
Yeah.
what Wolfen do.
Yeah.
So,
Azerman was a champ again. He heroically intervened. It's essentially all my Azerman does. It sits longingly 3 inches behind my front squad of Dire Avengers, which I then park in front of his most tankiest close combat unit, and then I just and charge.
Yeah.
And then he kind of ate through a whole bunch of Wolfen as well. Man, I love rolling those 6s to wound the
the D3
Azerman,
mortals.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And he was like, what's the damage? D3 was like, okay, that's the saves I made from the mortal wounds. I'm like, oh, no, that's just the damage. I haven't done the mortal wounds yet. But it was a fun game. Narratively, my table setup is kind of like a Imperial field base. I have one of the frontline sets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I set up my webway portal in the corner.
Oh, cool.
So narratively, my thing was the Alatok fleet was kind of going to protect this sealed webway gate to stop, because humans go to human. They go to tamper and mess with shit, and they don't understand. So I got to kind of make sure the stuff stays locked.
Yeah, Space Wolves are going to mark it, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna pee on it.
And you can never get Space Wolf pee out of Wraithstone.
I mean,
it
you
just
can
never
just-
comes out.
Yeah,
It's just always going to smell like it's terrible.
Yeah,
I mean it's acidic, so it's
Like
gonna
wet
corrode
dog.
the wraith bone
and asparagus.
Yeah. And as we know, or like from the Fall of Cadia and kind of the Gathering Storm series, Eldar gates do nothing but breach. So
Oh, yeah.
so now like in my kind of head, like I've seized this Imperial base, which is nice because it's my home table. And I'm kind of like using that to kind of gather my forces, and I'm using this narratively to bring in my second command group of like 3 warlocks and the wraith blades, as the ones who are kind of trying to keep this sealed and keep the chaos out. So hopefully I can kind of get a game in against Aaron, who's our chaos player in this.
Oh
campaign,
yeah,
I
sure.
believe
Oh,
there.
he needs to
right.
play this week. I don't
Yeah.
know if he has.
So, well,
Yeah, 'cause
also
you
I've,
guys all played last week, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I got to fly out to LA this week, so that might not happen. I'm going to
Oh.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
For work
Smart.
or for funsies?
For funsies.
Nice.
4 nights of professional wrestling. at the
Oh
Staples
yeah,
Center.
that's coming up.
That's this weekend.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm very hyped for that.
Smart. Flying to California right when it's on fire. Well-planned vacation.
Yeah, hey, pack a case of bottled water so that you can sell that at the local Walmart
Yeah.
for 3 times
Oh no,
regular
I
value.
won't be sober enough to make economic transactions this whole time. But yeah, that's what I've been up to. Playing with my army, by the way, made me like, man, I really need to finish painting these guys because my wave serpents look amazing. One of my planes looks super good. I have a squad of dyers that look really good, and I'm like, the rest of you guys have to catch up. I gotta get these going. I gotta get these on par.
Yeah, sure.
Because I love how they look. But yeah, my plan for these narrative games is to use a different command group in each game because we have kind of like our 3 set command groups.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for the next command group showing up should always follow like a reason. So like, you know, Azerman, the military dictator kind of general comes down to seize the ground initially. And then the second thing, the warlocks come down to consecrate the ground. I imagine I'm going to lose game 2 because then my super fast shining spears and Autark on a jet bike are going to chase after them. So
Nice.
yeah, we'll see how it goes.
That sounds cool.
Danny, what you been up to?
All right. Well, let's start at a mighty 2 weeks ago, where John and I played in a team event.
Oh, I totally forgot the team event.
Yeah,
Holy
that
crap.
happened.
Yeah, that did happen. We did play in a team event. We entirely did not cheat by using the codex that was released that day that we had our hands on for a month.
Yep. Totally true. Yeah, totally not cheating, or totally
No.
didn't get a little bit of an advantage there.
I think when I stopped down there and watched you, to check out the game and take some pictures, I liked that I was seeing somebody else running orcs.
Yeah.
And my only thoughts were, well, there's no way they can be better than Jon and Danny, who studied, even if they listened to the podcast.
I was like, oh, you mean
that
the
day, you know.
John and Danny, the people who spent, I think,
Yeah.
probably 10 hours studying the codex
so they could
for
talk.
really broken combos?
Yeah.
And we had some good ones.
We had some really good, like some surprising ones too, to be honest.
So we had kind of a low turnout for the event, right?
Yeah.
So we had.
I think we had a little bit of event fatigue up here. A little
Yeah,
bit,
there's been a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, there's been a lot of events, and it just, I was like, oh, the doubles event, and I would have played in the doubles event, except they bumped it to 1500.
It's a filthy casual event that you
No,
don't go to anymore.
I
Yeah,
need to-
you're too competitive
power
for that
competitive,
shit. Yeah.
No, Cody and I need practice, and we were going to
Yeah.
play until they bumped it to 1500, which doesn't do us any
that's
good
fair.
because we won't have that extra 1,000 points in
It
our
was a
actual.
weird points total. I didn't get it.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why
What?
we bumped it up.
I think it was bumped up so that some bigger units could be fielded.
2,000 points is still enough. And
Yeah.
like, to be honest, it's in addition to it being like extra points for each person to push around, team games just take longer than normal games because even though you think, oh, well, I'm only pushing around 1,000 points of stuff. Well,
You
no,
got-
both of you are pushing around 1,000 points of stuff.
Right.
And you have to talk about the things that you're doing.
Yeah. And
So-
you got to wait as well. I mean, luckily for us, like I can be like, hey, Danny, just roll dice for my guys over there, right?
Right, exactly.
But if you're like a team that's just put together or whatever, you're not going to be able to be like, hey, random person, push all my models up the table in an exact, so it takes more time because you're essentially playing too many games.
Right,
Right.
exactly. So, but some highlights from the event. Let's see. John's Warlord doing 20 wounds to a Baneblade.
24 wounds to a
Oh, sorry.
Baneblade. Yeah.
Amazing. Like he,
in one round of combat.
yeah. Why don't you tell him about your combo that you had?
Oh man, so the combo I used was Warpath? What's it? I keep forgetting what it's called. It's
Fist of Gork?
Fist of Gork.
Yeah.
On my Warlord gives him +2 strength, +2 attacks. He uses the Killer Claw, which is a relic trait, which is a flat 3 damage, and it's double strength. And then I also had the Warlord trait, where if he charges or makes a heroic intervention, he gets +1 damage.
Right.
And
he gets to reroll to hit and wound.
Right, and it's set up so he rerolls to hit, he rolls to wound. So he's hitting on 2s, rerolling misses. He's wounding on 2s, reroll, and he's wounding a Baneblade on 2s because at this point he's strength 16.
Right.
Rerolling failed wounds. Each wound is a flat 4 damage each. And it was -3 to their save?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the guy who's playing the Baneblade made 1 save. And so out of the 6 wounds that John did to him. And so it was like, okay. Oh, no, he didn't. Never mind. You did the full 24.
Yeah, I did the full 24.
It was epic.
I mean, not for him. Not for the Baneblade owner.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, yeah.
Not our problem.
Not our problem. that was pretty good. I really like that combo of the Killer Claw and the Midas Right Warlord trait.
Right.
Where like that +1 damage on the charge.
It's really good.
Flat 4 is just crazy good.
But that being said, like there's probably 3 or 4 Orc Warlord traits that are just really good, and it's tough to choose between them. Even though that one's great, right?
Yeah.
So that one's brutal but cunning, and cunning but brutal gives you Phantasm from the Eldar book that's a stratagem for where you get to redeploy D3 units, and that is an incredibly powerful Warlord trait. There's another Warlord trait that gives you +1 strength and attack, which is huge when you're using a Power Claw and you double. There's a Warlord trait that buffs that can give a model that doesn't have like Wa and Breaking Heads, like that rule. So like giving that to a War Trike, so that he lets your boys advance and charge when they're close to it is really good. The Bad Moons one is a 4+ invulnerable save, like which is also really good.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's just so many good options there.
Yeah, I fielded mostly boys like a foot force.
Right.
We're at a battle wagon of distraction. I mean, flash kits. And then Danny, you kind of run a lot of the newer units.
I ran more mechanized speed freaks kind of army. So I had 2 Megatrack scrapjets, 2 Dragstas. I had 3 Truck Boys units. I had War Trike. I had a Big Mech on a bike with a custom force field, and I had a unit of 12 War Bikers. Man, War Bikers are super good too.
So good. Oh my god, the stuff just melted.
Right.
And what was great was like every game, or both the games we played, the first thing to die generally every game was my battle wagon.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. People were like, no.
Because when I'm an asshole, I'm like, if there is
always
if there is a unit that I over explain to you during a game, I want you to shoot that unit with everything you have. Because I'm like, yeah, I got 30 boys. This Warlord lets them advance and charge in the same turn. I mean, they get +1 charge. I have this battle wagon here. It has a big shooter, toughness 7, 16 wounds. It has 8 free flash kits in there. Now, they're strength 6, flat 2 damage, and all of them can shoot from any point of that. I'm going to put this right here in my front lines.
Go.
I take it a lot of people fall for that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, not smart people. No, I'm kidding. A lot of people. Well, because if you split it right, that's terrifying.
And honestly, if you're gonna move out of your deployment zone, that's a great unit. Like, that sucks to get shot by 8 flash kits.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think we were talking about this, Danny. Like across our army, there's so many things that if you ignored it, then you were screwed.
Yep, pretty much.
You shot the first game. They shot my battle wagon and flash kits, and they got charged by 90 boys.
Yep. And then, there was that, right? Also, my War Bikers ran up, charge blocked the entire enemy army in their deployment zone, and they also killed 20 boys from shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, more DACA and War Bikes is another great combo that Danny
good.
used a couple times there.
That was solid. And to segue onto that, I also played Orcs the very next weekend in a tournament, the same way that Dave played in.
And how did you do?
Man,
in that
look
one?
at all these smooth fucking segues we got going on here.
Well, I didn't do as good as I normally do. I still think I'm figuring Orcs out. So I went 2-1. So and I got third. So it's so third out of 12. So like not
well, I mean, 13 originally.
It's all 25%.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Right. There were 13. You're correct. So there was a tie for first place.
Yeah,
like exactly, which is weird.
That's sexy.
Yeah.
Well, except for strength of schedule. So
Right. And strength of schedule. Yeah. That smooths that out. But the two people got the same ITC points.
That's crazy.
Random figured out strength of schedule score of whatever it is.
Yeah. What it is it's the scores of all of your opponents
Right.
added together.
One of them had a lot higher strength of schedule. It was
Right.
Like
So they
it was
played-
like
So
1,000
they played
points
better
more.
people.
Yeah.
Right. So let's see. First game. Oh my God! Who did I play first game?
Miller.
Oh yeah, of course.
You played,
Played Miller.
played Local
I mean-
Blood Angels hero, Mr. Miller.
And if you really can't remember, you can just look at the BCP app, which has.
Oh yeah,
a
right.
record of
Yeah,
your,
you can
score.
actually follow along
God.
my journey.
When did you guys turn into such corporate horror
So
professionals?
I like free shit.
That's fair. So tell us about the BCP sponsored tournament.
what? First of all, so we had our normal TO kind of bow out. So I actually ended up running the tournament, kind
Yeah,
of
feel better, Bo. We're sorry you got
for real.
Yeah,
food poisoning.
whatever it was.
Yeah.
It was grim dark.
But I haven't done that before. Like I haven't run a 40K tournament by myself on my phone. So that was super easy with BCP. I'm really glad that I had that there to run.
So am I.
Otherwise,
I could have ended up playing real people.
well, and I thought I was like it was going to be tough, and I was going to have to like make some decisions. I thought I screwed it up, and I was going to have to redo the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I just flipped a couple of switches in there in the settings, and like it worked just fine. So, and I had everybody register and check in and everything on their phones,
Yep.
which was cool. That worked out really well. Yeah, so that worked out great. Anyway, so I played John Miller. He was playing Blood Angels and Imperial Guard. And basically,
Was there 32 Imperial Guard models?
I think that there was slightly more. He had Pask and another Lehman Russ. He had 3 10-man infantry squads and then a mortar squad.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had a company commander, I think. And then for his Blood Angels, he had Sanguinary Ancient. He had the Sanguinor. He had 8 Sanguinary Guard. Librarian Dreadnought.
So he.
3 units of scouts. So double battalion.
So Dave's dying here. Right?
Yeah. Continue, Danny.
Cool. Anyway, so I got into combat on turn 2 pretty much. I did really good. I actually scored all 4 of my Butcher's Bill points in the first 2 turns of the game because you can score them in your opponent's phase and your phase. So I was like surrounding little units and finishing them off in his phase, and that was working out really well. And then by turn 3, I think I was able to charge all of his tanks in his corner. And so like I locked him in combat. And highlight of the game for me was killing a Lehman Russ with Sluggas.
What? What?
Yeah, just like I got it down to a couple of wounds left, and I'm like, all right, 30 boys with Sluggas shooting this thing. And so anyway, shot 30 boys with Sluggas, hitting on 5s with Daka Daka Daka. Pretty good. Second game I played against Imperial Knights, and I lost that game. He had a Knight Valiant, 2 Crusaders, and 2 Armigers, Helverins.
A Valiant?
Yeah.
Oh,
Valiant.
Flamers, huh?
Yeah.
So that thing's really good against orcs.
Spoiler alert. It's also really good against custodes.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Dave. Mm-hmm. So I think that I misplayed it a little bit. I could have played a little bit better. Like I could have concentrated force a little bit more and not split up my boys units, because I did jump to boys unit into like one corner, and I was able to capture and surround a Helverin and then kill it off in his turn because I didn't manage to finish it off. But then another knight came in and stomped them pretty good. They brought that knight down to half. I was finally able to kill his Valiants, but he did the explode stratagem on it.
Oh, shit.
And
Yeah.
I had charged it with 4 characters, and so like that was that was my bad. He didn't kill any of the characters. He killed. Sorry. So, in order to soak Overwatch, I had charged my Wartrike into the Valiant first to like try and stop it,
Right.
and he rolled like 15 hits with his flamer.
Yeah.
Luckily, I saved like 12 of them. So
Oh, nice. That's way better than I did.
yeah. So he lived and made it in, and then he killed it like in one round of shooting.
Yeah.
And then let's see here. So that happened. It blew up. It killed my guys, and then basically he had 2 Crusaders and a Helverin left, and they were really able to kind of finish off my army.
Sure.
So, and I made some mistakes in pulling casualties. I forgot that knights could charge after they fell back too, which like I don't know why I forgot that. Like that's like, come on, Danny. So that was just
day one shit.
Right, exactly. So I should have removed casualties so that he couldn't have made the charge
Yeah.
back into combat. If that was the case, I had enough CP left where I was going to regen that whole boy squad.
Oh yeah.
And instead they got
Nice.
stomped on to death, unfortunately. So it goes. That's
Yeah,
okay.
It happens.
And then final round, I played against Lee from our team.
Oh yeah.
My
Yeah.
favorite thing that happened in this tournament happened in your game with Lee.
What was that?
Well, because you were playing Lee, and you guys were just having a good time and having fun. I hear you go, all right, so I hope you're ready for this. And then you teleported a giant unit of boys all the way across the board right in front of his face. You were like, so I'm really sorry about this, but... And Lee goes, sorry for what? And then you just scooped these boys up in your ham fists, and just threw them across the board in front of him. And you go, all right, now these boys are sitting here. And he turned around and looked at me like, is Danny cheating? And I went, like, no, dude, that's legit. That's legit.
Hashtag orc life.
So that was pretty. That was a pretty brutal game for Lee.
Yeah. Well, Lee's running Tau as well. He
And
keeps jumping between Lee. You keep jumping between Tau and Nids.
Well, he said he wanted to bring Nids, but he wasn't. He was worried that he wasn't going to be able to finish games.
Oh, yeah, fair.
So, but and his Tau list was fine. It was 2 Yavaras and a normal and a burst cannon Riptide, which I think is a great like that right there.
He had a solid list, yeah.
Yeah, and it was a brigade.
Oh yeah.
So it was Borkan, and he had some he had a commander, an ethereal, and a fireblade, and then some units of fire warriors for troops.
Yeah.
And then some sniper drones and some pathfinders, I think. Yeah, so that sounds right. Anyway, the Yavaras were really good against me. They killed a lot of boys.
Yeah.
But it got to the point where like the boys just didn't care.
I think it's like that Zap Brannigan tactic of just throwing man at them until they reach their preset kill limit
Exactly.
and switch off.
So highlight of that game for me was my 2 shock buggies living long enough to one-shot a Yavara from full health in one
Jesus
round
God.
of shooting. That was pretty epic.
Oh man, that's really good.
So I was a hair's breadth from having to play Danny in that last game. And I actually wasn't afraid of Danny.
You don't have enough repulsors to face Danny, sir.
That's not true. First off, that is incorrect, sir. I do have enough repulsors to face Danny. And once I go down by 100 points in the chapter approved 2018, I'll be able to
man.
field all 6 of them that I own.
Hashtag wish listing.
Someone start a change.org petition to get GW to reduce the points of a repulsor so they're only moderately overpriced now.
I don't know. I could see him
I-
going down some points.
I could see him going down some points,
So
too.
you're
to
going
be
down
honest.
100 points.
No.
Maybe I could see
dude,
50.
If a repulsor
Yeah.
went down 100 points and I was able to field them at 250 points instead of 350 points, I wouldn't lose. I don't think I could lose. I think if I made a fake list where the repulsors went down by 100 points and played against you, Danny, I don't know that I could lose.
All right.
Sorry, I meant to
I'll
play
be
that
the-
after jokes.
I'll be the
Was
judge
that a
of
joke? That sounded like a joke.
It
wasn't
was
a joke.
it was a
serious.
joke.
Okay.
Serious.
Just like all of Dave's gameplay, that was a joke. Thank you.
I like how Danny nodded his head towards the soundboard when he started talking.
Yeah. Get ready for the rim shot. Here it comes.
That's what your mom said.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was just gonna
Why
make
would my
that
mom
joke.
say that? Why wouldn't you say that to my mom?
Dude, I'm not a felcher.
John just likes to watch.
I do.
All right.
So Danny, you placed.
placed-
so you guys placed first in the team tournament, right?
Oh yeah, we won the team.
Oh yeah, we
tournament.
won that hard.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
hard.
And then Danny, you placed third in the ITC tournament.
Yep, which is my first score under my new team.
Yeah.
So hopefully I got 98 points. I think
Yeah,
that
we were
puts it in the
expecting
top
more
10,
out of you
so-
than that. We're gonna need. Those are rookie numbers.
Hey, man,
We
I
need
still
to
got a
pump up
lot
those
of
numbers.
Pump those numbers.
And then you're also getting an LVO score, so I think that. So
Yeah.
okay, so I heard this week from some people close to LVO, they have over
So
800.
they were in Vegas.
What?
So they were in Vegas.
No, close to
The organizers.
Oh,
God.
close to
Yeah.
Frontline Gaming. Okay,
To
Jesus
Teresa
Christ.
Garden, Franklin.
got
Right.
it.
Sorry, I heard that there's over 800 people registered.
That's crazy.
So
Just for the championship.
just for the champs.
I thought it was capped out at 620. Did they up it again?
They
It's-
have that many
'cause it's-
people that are paid and registered.
Jesus Christ! It's
I've reached the point where
the ITC's turned into an airline where they overbook all their flights in the hopes that some people don't show.
I honestly thought about buying a ticket. It's gotten so big that I feel like I could get in the top 50% and look great, with
So-
a garbage list.
So if let's say that 600, let's say 650 people show up, right? Like they get like 80%.
I'm gonna pull out a calculator on this here. Okay, go.
So if you multiply that by the
I've got my abacus.
ITC score multiplier, which is 0.0032 plus 1,
3.08.
right? So that means that whatever score you get in the
God.
tournament is multiplied by 3.
So and it's 6 games, right?
Yeah. So
6 games assured, or because I can't remember. Is it?
yeah, you're going to
tops-
get 6 games, and then they're going to break the top 8.
and then the top 8 are going to play one more the next day.
No, one more round of 3 games.
The next
Oh,
day.
one more round of 3
Yeah.
games.
Yeah, so they played 9 games.
Wow,
It's a marathon.
man, you better be in that top 16.
Well, first of all, it's only top 8.
You better come in ninth, Danny. That way you can fully enjoy the Vegas experience, but still get some bragging rights.
Oh, man.
Well, I came ninth.
What are you going to do Sunday if you don't have anything scheduled? If you're not in the top 8?
Well, when I bought the ticket, you can get like the championships, like I don't know, I think it was like the King Edition or something, and so like you get also registered for the RTTs that happen on
Which I think
Sunday.
the big deal of those is those are the first RTTs of the new ITC season.
Yeah, so it can be
Oh,
like,
so
So
it's-
you get new points right away.
Shit.
yeah.
Well, I know that I think that the Long War doubles actually will also count.
But I will
It
say
will,
as well,
yeah.
the
Yeah.
RTT tournaments that run Sunday are usually sparsely attended by the fact that everyone played 6 really fucking grueling games of 40K the past couple
Sure.
of days.
I watched our friend Eric play one last year, and he forgot to deploy his 40 Gene Stealers on the table for one of his games, and so he was like, well, that was fun. Like, he lost horribly, right? I mean, because he was missing,
Handicapping himself 25% of his list.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, like
Yeah.
legitimately. So,
Sorry, Eric.
yeah, that
It's
sucks.
funny because he made a mistake.
Oh man, and he was super. I think that was the day he was super hungover. Anyway,
I'm sure it was. We're all going to be super hungover going into Sunday because Saturday
gonna be
night we're going
rough.
to get lit.
it's gonna be rad.
If you see us out Saturday night and we're still walking, you need to buy us a drink.
I will be at home with a newborn.
No, you won't.
Aw.
No, this baby's going to wait
gonna
until the
FaceTime
week
you.
after LVO.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to FaceTime you.
FaceTime-
Hey, John, what's up? How's it going?
I'm going to FaceTime you a crying baby, like mid-match.
I'm going to be at the strip club and I'll be like, hey, give me that crying baby noise. I want to see if this stripper will
This is the
lactate.
only way I get off.
What?
Both of those were terrible. Let's just gloss. Let's cut both of those out.
Oh, no, I don't edit stuff.
I know.
Dude, who has time for that?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So anyway, it's been a really busy 2 weeks. Me building a lot of orc models. I also finally finished off building my Gene Stealer Cults army. So I played my first narrative game with that.
Just in
which was
time for
fun.
the new book. How did your narrative game go?
It was really fun. I played against Taylor, who had this Cadian gun line, which was pretty harsh.
Sounds terrible for Taylor.
I was able to use terrain like in an advantageous way to get my.
Like you threw it at his head.
Yeah, luckily for me, it was made of cast concrete, so I was like, yeah, that was game over right there. I won that one.
Victory by concussion.
Right? The Gene Stealer cult way.
You actually lost, but he forgot the game. So
Yeah, it's no big deal.
You
Just
won.
wrote it as a W. I walked in, and so I had to borrow some models because I couldn't buy enough jet bikes. So I borrowed some of Taylor's
Sure.
already built custom jet bikes, and I walked in and looked, and I just was like, this does not look good for Taylor as to what's going on.
Man, static gun lines versus high-speed assault armies generally don't have great times.
Okay, so I went second, which
Oh.
is bad. And then
Oh, no.
also
So
I
did
had
you-
half my army in reserve.
Oh
So-
God!
But due to some clever, like I said, some clever terrain placement, I definitely wasn't going to lose everything before my stuff came in. Let me tell you, the prepared position stratagem is great.
Oh, is that free cover save one?
Oh man, let me tell you about it when it gets to my turn.
And speaking of that one, if you're playing orcs and you have a custom force field, just use the custom force field booster.
It's
It's
cheap,
it's one more CP, right?
but it's way better.
a 5+ invul save for everything is, I think it's
How
better.
big does it make the bubble?
18.
Okay, that's pretty solid.
And so when my guy's on like one of those oval bike bases, I mean, he gets a pretty good distance over my whole army.
Yes.
So yep.
Yeah.
So been a fun week. Yeah, a lot of gaming the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that tournament. I'm like, I finally played a game. And oh, wait. Dave, you elected not to talk about your stuff, so we're going to be... No.
Oh,
What have you
Oh,
been
man.
up to? I saw
I,
you bought another butt plug, but this one with a wider base. One can only
Getting
assume
stretched
because
out,
it
yeah.
keeps slipping on up there.
getting really stretched out. I need a bigger hilt.
His
Yeah.
ER bill is like crazy high. They know him though. He gave him a punch card.
Oh, Dave's back again. Hey, Nancy, how's it going?
I fell on it again.
So I was also going crazy. I recorded a tutorial that will be up when you hear this 5 days ago.
Yeah.
It'll already be up.
Wait, it's coming out this morning?
Nope, 5 days ago. 3 days ago? 4 days ago. Tuesday.
Right.
The previous Tuesday.
I'm like, wait, shit, when am I supposed to have this up by?
This is Saturday. This comes out Saturday, right?
Yeah. Oh, wait, shit. Yeah, we release on Saturdays now. Okay.
Anyway, so
Yeah, 5 days from now.
go back to Tuesday morning in your time machine and watch how to paint orc terrain. New tabletop plus. Finally found some mojo and
From
was able to.
the awesome new Speed Freeze
awesome.
box.
Yeah.
Yeah, the stuff looks great.
I have the terrain in a box at my house. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Minus the one that John now has here. I
Yeah.
figured I'd spread them out. Danny
Cool.
could have
Yeah.
the 5 awesome pieces, and John could have the
I'll
one.
have the one subpar one.
One tiny one that you couldn't hide a Gretchen behind. Right.
It's the Dave's Dick of terrain.
Because it's easy to hide.
Because it's, small and easy to hide.
Yeah, but my balls are huge, so they're like the other pieces.
That's not a brag.
Hey,
It's
look,
like
when
weird
you-
flex, but okay.
No, I was actually able to get some peace and quiet in my house, so I was able to record. Because a couple times I sat down to start. In the last month and a half, I just haven't been able to sit down and record. Every time I do, I've got 1,700 other kids. My 16-year-old daughter has started dating a kid that's going to be a professional video gamer, so that's fun.
Oh, man.
And he loves to come over and talk to me about video games, which is great because I don't want to talk to him at all.
You know what's great is when you were younger and you were having those life goals, you would go over to your girlfriend's house. And then once you got off your penny farthing. But no, you go and they're like, I don't understand why your dad doesn't like me. And now that we're older with children of our own, and it's like, oh, because get a real job. Like, really? It's 2018. By the time you're old enough, Twitch will be a YouTube.
Mm-hmm. So, I was finally able to get some peace and quiet. I gave everybody money and sent them out to watch a movie. I didn't care what the hell they watched. And I recorded a video, and so that's going to be up for you guys. And I also had time to build 14. I actually built 14 jet bikes. I still have one more to build. And then I don't actually have
Did you
enough
put
yet.
shuriken cannons or did you put scatter lasers on them?
I went with the sexy hurricane bolters, which are
Oh.
superior to your Xenos scum.
You mean fake bikes? I'm sorry.
No.
I thought you said jet bikes.
I did Custo jet bikes because they are sexy. So I got my list together. True to what I said last podcast, I decided to run Celestine, and she did great work for me when I remembered that she was on the table.
Solid.
That's
Solid.
You're good.
That's
Yep.
not a joke. I forgot at least
know.
once in every game.
Yep. Well, forgetting's kind of a thing that happens.
Well, I've never used
Yeah.
it before, and I didn't get any paint on her, so she was just base coated black. So I would lose her in the shadows because I don't see
Are
her
you
very
saying
well
because she's black,
I'm really
she was
old.
forgettable?
Racist.
Yeah, dude.
That's
not cool.
not. I was saying that she was this. Yeah, sure. Right. Let's go with that. So I played against the Imperial Knight list with my bike. That was my first game, and I thought,
How did that go?
oh, it went amazingly well for the Imperial Knight player.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if we've covered this or not, but flamers are very effective against jet bikes. However, I went second, and I used the cover strat.
Nice.
And he managed to kill a single bike with all of his night shooting
That's
awesome.
really good.
in the first round. And then I moved forward and charged him. And that's where things went really badly for me
Oh.
because he was playing Hawk Shroud. So I charge.
What did you have in your list that wasn't hurricane bolters that could hurt a knight
Outside of combat.
outside of combat? Because I know you have your spears and stuff, but then you're way too close to knights.
So the way that the bikes are set up, charging is where I do all the damage to knights. So I'm not really too concerned about it because I ran 2 5-man squads of bikes, a 4-man squad of bikes, and 2.
I saw on
Captains.
Best Close Pairings you printed out your list on Battlescribe, and then proceeded to pencil, scribble off, and adjust unit size. I can only assume in a way to cheat extra models onto the table.
That's what it was. No, because I originally had it.
I can only assume.
I originally had it at 6, 4, and 4, and I was like, well, that's dumb. I'm just going to change it to 5, 5, and 4, and made that change after I had already
Taking
printed it out.
advantage of a rookie TO.
God, that poor guy.
Yeah. Poor guy.
So, but yeah, no, I charged his. My first move was not to charge the Valiant with the squads that were charging the Valiant. It was to charge the Knight to the side of him.
Okay.
With a 5-man squad.
Sure.
5-man squad charging has a really good chance of doing a lot of damage. Actually,
I really hope there's no way that he could heroically intervene from like a foot away.
nope.
And also fire Overwatch.
And also fire Overwatch.
There was. Because with Hawk Shroud, they have a really sexy stratagem that allows him to also fire Overwatch at the same target as the guy getting targeted, as long as he's within range.
I mean, it's fine. It's not like he has
Right.
a 3d6 flamer that
No.
does a shitload of damage.
yeah. So,
Though I do like that the Knight player was running a Valiant and kind of already adapting for the expected massive points increases for the Castellan.
Well, he
Well,
he played a Valiant at Ursa.
well, and he likes the Valiant because it
I have a
works really
Valiant.
well against
I
the
know you do.
Poon Knight is really sexy. You
I
should
just
play it.
I do. Whenever I play it, I fire my Poon cannon and I yell out, Poon!
So his Poon cannon didn't kill
And then I
anything
miss.
the entire game.
Same.
So
But the Flamers, on the other hand,
I've played my Poon Knight in 3 games. On those 3 games, my Poon has killed 1 Pathfinder.
Did he get lost?
1 Pathfinder. I did, and I'm like, I was like, it did 10 damage to it, and he's like, "Yep, it's really dead." I'm like, "Yep,
it
was 10 damage."
exploded.
Sad times.
Anyway, going at the end of turn 3, I was actually ahead 18 to...
Oh, sweet. So you slow played so you could win, right?
Yeah, that's how we're going to end this story. No, so the end of turn 3, I was actually ahead 18 to 15.
Right.
However, I had managed to lose all of my bikes,
right.
and then he just tabled me at turn 4 and got full points after that. So
I find as well, like me, like a lot of my lists as well, where like if I'm that close turn 3, I don't really have enough board presence to do anything else. So I have to go like really hard and heavy the first 3 turns because I don't foresee it like me surviving to turn 4 or 5.
Sure.
So I fully believe that if he'd had a Castellan instead of a Valiant, even with the Hawk Shroud stratagems, I would have been fine.
Right, because he's only firing like 3 shots that he has to roll
Right.
a hit for.
Yeah.
Instead
So,
of like 18 flamer shots.
Yeah.
yeah, 2 damage flamer shots.
Ooh, they're so good.
Yeah, it's disgusting. My next round was against Space Wolves. Buddy Jared, who's still learning how to play ITC missions and whatnot. He's getting better. He has a solid list. But I used Celestine in the. I went first in that one. I used Celestine to move twice and then charge his librarian in the
Nice.
first round of combat and kill it.
Nice.
And he went, "Wow, that's what Celestine does." And I said, "Yep,
Yep.
yep. Come
She
on and get me."
gets abandoned in the backfield, alone, surrounded by space wolves.
He managed
Just
to
the
kill.
way she likes it.
He managed to kill
Well,
her.
we're not getting the Sisters of Battle Codex now.
The dream.
Well, we all are
Yeah.
soon.
We won't get it early if we
Well,
keep making such
2019.
funny political insight commentaries.
True. He killed her. She immediately popped back up, and he went, "Oh, so she's also back up? That's neat." And I went, "Yep." and I moved my my custo jet bikes up and managed to lock his two of his assassins in place so they couldn't move.
What kind of assassins did he take?
Calexis, right? The anti-psyker.
Oh, yeah.
They're pretty great.
I mean, they
I
are.
dislike them.
Unless you lock them in place, they can't move. Also, I managed to
Yeah.
almost every single time I charged with my custo jet bikes, then immediately swing into and lock into place all of his aggressors, so they
Yeah.
never got to shoot.
Ouch.
Ouch.
And I ended up winning that game fairly handily. It was a great game. It was well played by both of us.
Nice
just-
humble brag.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Then the next game, I shouldn't have won, but I did. I played against Sean's Imperial Mechanized Foot Imperial Guard
Oh,
Astra
okay.
Militarum troop thing, and
So you played Sean's Astra Militarum.
right, and I'm just he had literally every character that you could have. If it was a named person, it was in his list.
Gulliman.
For Astra Militarum,
I mean,
Did he
Yeah.
have Creed?
Creed?
no, Creed was the only one he didn't have actually.
Did he have
Ask,
Sly Marbo?
Strachan,
No. Well, I like how we've just named three characters you could have taken. that
Do you have
didn't.
Nork Dead Dog?
actually, I think
yeah.
he did.
Or did he just have an Ogren bodyguard?
Because Nork Day Dog doesn't exist anymore.
Oh,
For real?
I don't think so. I think
No,
it's
he's still in the book. He's still in the codex.
I just made Danny sad. And
I don't know.
My night.
Dude, now I'm sad. I'm looking at my
The,
codex.
we
Hey, Lulu has opened.
we ended up going to time and turn 4.
Nice.
But
That's still a pretty good time to
yeah.
reach, especially with like a big Astra Militarum list.
yeah, well, there's just the dice rolls were in my favor.
So yeah, he doesn't exist.
In that he right he failed one crucial charge, which basically won me the game.
I always like when that happens, when it's like so close
Well, I
to this
do
like
too when
one
it's-
thing.
when I'm on.
I prefer it when it's like on my end. It's better, but you know we'll take other ones too.
Yeah. Tactically, I feel like I could have played a little bit better. I moved Celestine and then forgot where she was because I moved to the other side of a line of sight blocking wall,
Nice.
basically creating a firing squad in front of 3 units of Imperial Guard with las guns.
Nice.
And,
Did they execute her?
They tried. She lived with 1 wound. Then they
So
charged her.
instead, it just looked like
And then she
Celestine
died.
attended a rave.
Nope.
Really?
She didn't die.
Wow.
They charged her. They were getting bonus from the Cadian or Cadian catechins
Yeah.
stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
couldn't kill her. And then she was like, "See you later," and flew away, and
Peace.
killed his company commander. That was his warlord.
Ouch.
So I mean, it just like
was
you don't blame dice,
That was
but
some
he,
good rolling.
He could blame his dice.
He's alive too.
He could blame his dice on that one.
That's fair.
I locked his basilisk up with my jet bikes, charged into him. He had him tucked into a back corner, and I just was like, dink.
Nice.
And he was like, "I'll just move," and I was like, "Nope,
Let me tell you why.
no, you won't. Got you held here
Brutal.
in combat, so no shooting."
Roombaing things is so much fun.
Yeah, well, especially when the Roomba actually blows one up in the first round of combat on the charge.
Yeah. I'm good with my Roomba not doing anything but holding you up because I feel that's more embarrassing and fucking irritating. Because if I'm charged by a custom jet bike and things die, okay, I might not be locked in combat anymore because it's so killy. But if I charge you with a tank that I'm hitting on 6s for, then I'm like, yeah, I don't want to hurt you. I just don't want you to shoot. It makes me mad.
My favorite part of that game was he was charging a unit of Ogrins across the table, and then the jet bikes roared by them, and they had to turn around and chase, and they would so they kept charging into combat, doing 1 wound, and then I would just fly away, and then he would charge into combat, do 1 wound, and I would fly away.
Oh man!
And I was like, it just like they were just like the whole game. They were like, come on, we got him. Let's get. Damn it!
You don't have to explain to an Eldar player how much fun it is to kite shit around the board by running away slightly faster than them.
I literally kited around through the middle of his army, this entire unit, without ever doing any damage to them myself. So, but I managed to. I killed 9 of all of his characters in close combat with a bunch of different stuff. So, it was a great game.
Worked as intended.
Nice.
So. Right. Well, if you want to look that up, that is under our Best Close Pairings app under MJ. Was it MJ 40K?
It was MJ's 40K 1110.
Yep.
And that was on 1110.
Right.
Weirdly enough, and both Danny and Dave were brave men and uploaded their lists as is tradition. Oh, Danny!
I forgot to upload my list.
Yeah, Danny did not upload his list. He doesn't want anybody copying it.
Dave uploaded his list, so
I did.
if you too want to handicap yourself, you can copy Dave's list and run it at your nearest Imperial faction.
If you want my army list, I'd be happy to send it to you via Twitter or Facebook.
Hold on.
But not Instagram.
I was actually...
Fuck Instagram.
Fuck Instagram.
Wow.
No, for real, though.
For real, yeah. We're not even joking.
Wow.
There's no drum roll or anything.
Right,
Just straight up, fuck Instagram.
Oh, all right.
But yeah. We're going to be right back.
Dude, I'm the best. I took first place at another tournament.
First off, stop with the thunder and lightning. You don't impress me. And second, let me check out the BCP rankings. And I don't see you on there.
What?
Your TO needs to download the Best Coast Pairings app and run events on it. After the event, the results are uploaded into BCP rankings, and the best part, it's easy and free.
But I play multiple game systems.
No big deal. The BCP app can be used for any game. A ton of events every weekend are using it, from major international tournaments to local stores. And now that it's available on Android devices, you're going to have some serious competition.
There can be only one.
BCP Rankings is a fun and exciting way to measure how you or your team stack up. No matter what you play, your score goes to an overall ranking, or compete to be the best in a game, a circuit, a region, or the world.
Download the app or visit www.bestcoastpairings.com for more info.
Best Coast Pairings.
Are you the best?
And we're back.
Yay.
I feel like a champion every time I listen to that, Ed.
I do. It's very rousing.
Just wish they would stop it with the thunder and lightning.
But it's very rousing public domain music. But anyway, we're back. Oh, I forgot to say as well, I finished Talon of Horus.
Ooh.
Oh.
Man, that book's fucking baller.
All right.
Did you start Black Legion yet?
I did start Black Legion, yes.
Yeah.
Thanks, Audible. Please sponsor us.
Speaking of Audible stuff, you know what? Hopefully you guys did it, but there was a for charity audio bundle you could pick up from Black Library. I picked it up. Apparently overpaid.
You did by $10.
Yeah, but I had that all set to go to charity, so I feel good about
say
it.
your
Makes me feel good.
Bullshit.
Well, no, it was for charity, so yeah. But I've been enjoying the shit out of that. One of the books that you can get is an audio drama that isn't actually a book. It's the Garrow Oath of Moment.
Yeah,
which is actually the first story I listened to set in the Horus Heresy when I borrowed it back when I had a CD player from Tata, who I think actually bought it for like $100 from Forge World or wherever you get it from. And I listened to that.
No. Back then, Forge World was in pounds.
Oh, right. So I think
and
it was...
the exchange rate was a halfpenny to a U.S. penny. I'm sorry, a penny.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. But yeah, it took me back. So that's in there, and it's a
Werther's
fantastic
remembers.
listening.
That's right.
No, Pepperidge Farm.
They're
remembers,
called
you dick.
pounds because it's worth a pound of gold. Just explain
This
how
is where you
currency
do the
works.
soundboard. For
No,
your
that
shitty...
did not deserve
Yes,
any
it
kind of
did.
joke whatsoever.
Get my own fucking soundboard. Hold on.
Wait, I got one.
That's what it
That is accurate.
That's accurate. That's a terrible joke. But anyway, continue your charity pimping.
Oh, I don't know who the charity was for. I didn't care. It was just
Oh, it's Humble Bundle, so they always have like a super
Right,
good
but
deal
it's-
on all of
it's-
their stuff.
yeah.
But like $15 gets you pretty much a whole shit ton of audiobooks from 40K, from Age of Sigmar. I'm interested in the Age of Sigmar ones because I haven't
Heresy
listened to like a
ones.
bunch of those. A couple of Heresy ones. More importantly, it has Dark Imperium
Yep.
in it.
Cool.
Which is a really recent publication, kind of really goes into the new background of 40K as of 8th edition and kind of how Gulliman reacts to the way the Imperium is now. And then $15 is cheaper than that book is solo. So it's worth it.
I already own that book.
Yeah.
yeah, I do too.
Now I own 2.
Yes.
Nice.
But now I can listen to it at work and
Yeah.
get paid. So.
But yeah, so definitely download that. And also, Talon of Horus, man. Just read that thing. It's goddamn amazing. It's going to make me start like a 15th army.
I saw your shopping list.
My shopping list is there. Thankfully, after the last chapter of Talon of Horus, it's about half the size that it was at the start.
Oh, you mean because they're all dead?
I mean,
Yeah.
no spoilers yet, but yeah.
Yeah,
pretty-
stuff dies.
Stuff dies. But yeah, so we're going to talk. We kind of touched on it a little bit last time when we were talking about some of the history of the Blackstone Fortress. By the way, Blackstone Fortress available for pre-order right now. We have the box here. Looks amazing.
Oh my
Some
god, the miniatures look awesome.
Miniatures look awesome in them. There's some great rules in there. I have a brand new plastic Eldar Ranger that I'm hyped about.
Yeah, she's cool.
And then Danny, I know are very excited to play this game. I'm a big Warhammer Quest fan, and to finally have a Warhammer Quest with guns, and
Yeah.
also War of the Worlds robots.
Oh, those guys are cool.
Those guys are amazing.
So there's a tutorial up that they've started doing their tutorials and whatnot on how to play, and there's also a painting guide for it. And you see the spindle guy in all of the Warhammer community pictures, and he's like, "Oh, that looks so good." And then I watched the painting tutorial for it today, which is 30 seconds long and is involved with dry brushing 3 different colors, and then you're done. And I kind of went, "Well, that's not how the fuck you painted it. This is garbage.
That's how I paint my Marines.
That's some hot garbage right here."
Dry brush 3 colors gun.
Yeah, right. I was very disappointed because I wanted a more in-depth heavy metal. How the heavy metal painters painted
Sadly,
it to get the weird glow. And
Yeah, I
all
don't
the
think
other
we're gonna
stuff to
get like a 3-hour painting tutorial for a spindle robot.
Not everybody's Ted, so I guess
as much as I would love it. Some great new Chaos miniatures in there for
Oh,
my
man.
burgeoning Black Legion boner that I have going on. It's
All
a
right.
lot of
Dude,
bees.
that Chaos Lord
So good.
is
the
rad.
Chaos Lord is a sexy model. The regular Chaos Marines
Are
also
s-
good looking.
yes.
they're good looking. However, they are literally just your standard tactical style Marine. Or look at me, I'm holding the bolter this way and I'm looking this way. There's no.
Yeah, it's just the same model with a different head.
Hey man, all I know is that like I got my event exclusive Chaos Marine Sorcerer from like 3 years ago, finally out of the packaging, because I'm like he's gonna be my test model for Black Legion, and then I'm like, oh wait, now I have actual plastic test models, and I probably shouldn't start in like a $60 event exclusive.
Yeah. No, start with the $60 one.
Yeah, we'll
That's the
see
way to
how
go.
it goes from
Yeah,
there.
do a lot of conversion on it.
No, it's gonna be straight up painted, that one.
That model's awesome.
It's so good. But yeah, it's a great box. I'm happy to see that the news coming out of Warhammer Community this month was that they're going to continue support from this with kind of expansion packs and all that other kind of stuff there too.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what they do because in the actual Silver Tower, you got 5 heroes, right? When you bought the box
Right.
set. This one has
Like 37, I think
it's
give or take
40
30.
44 total models, and everybody is a hero or something like that.
Well,
I
so
mean,
upon release for Silver Tower, they came out with an app, and the app had like most all of the different Warhammer Fantasy heroes that you could use in Silver Tower.
or just kind of generic models becoming heroes as well. I mean, like
Sure.
different stuff. So yeah, I'm kind of excited to see what they do.
Oh man, yeah, I want to see some
Yeah.
Space Marines in there.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
Well,
yeah. Because what we found
they'll
out
be
is
intercessors.
we found out as well this is a new
Yeah, for
Blackstone Fortress. So we have our existing 6, of which 5 are blown up. And this
Yep.
is a brand new Blackstone Fortress in Segmentum Pacifica. So like really up there out in the waste is described as being surrounded by hundreds of millions of miles of like dead ships.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and just kind of like floating out there. And of course our rogue trader is kind of coming in here to make a quick Han Solo buck off of the cargo in there. Chaos has found it, as chaos is akin to do with things that are star-shaped.
Right. So the only thing I'd like to see, I really want to see an expansion that reverses. the hero, the good guys and the bad guys.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I really do think that you should be able to play through as
This is 40K.
SKS.
Who is the good guy? Because I'm going to
the
tell you,
spindle drone.
after
4 of
after
those.
telling a horse, I have a whole new appreciation for chaos.
They're not that bad.
No. They're just down on their luck. They're like Aaron Paul in Breaking Bad. It's dealt a bad hand.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
I can't wait to tell you about my favorite part of Black Legion. Like, there's this one part that makes me laugh so hard every single time, and like it. Yeah, I just thinking about it, it makes me smile.
So good.
Yeah.
I like that you can take almost the entire chaos side and make a
Really substandard patrol.
no. You can make a Vanguard.
Oh, you can make a Vanguard?
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
1 HQ,
Fancy.
3 elites,
I mean,
and the HQ gets a free 2-person bodyguard.
should call that a Vegas attachment because you punch it a bunch and it just kind of spills out points.
I mean, you get 2 psychers that get to do everything.
Those
on full
Psychers are
strength.
super cheap.
They look awesome, and
they
the
look
models are
awesome,
rad,
too.
and like they're good.
The rules for them actually blew me away because the Astropath, which is the cheapest you can make it, is 30 points, is substandard to the untrained Chaos Psychers. So, for the same amount of points.
But
They're-
the Chaos Seekers die a lot faster.
I mean,
Perils of the Warp.
depends. Just depends, I guess, on how you roll.
Sure, that's true.
But
Statistically,
you get the Negavolt cultists,
Oh, yeah,
which are
those-
basically what electro priests for chaos.
Yeah,
now?
they're Dark Mechanicus. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
so
So we're
good.
testing the water for some new model lines. It's almost like they had like a bunch of test models lying around or test designs.
Yeah, the Iron Man.
Yep.
The-
Oh yeah, the Man of Iron.
Man
Right.
of Iron, yeah.
I like
Not
that.
to be confused with the MCU property, because we don't want to be sued. Thank you.
But no, I like that this character, this Man of Iron, like this AI, this
Like-
forbidden technology has just pretended to be like a dumbass robot for like 8,000
beep,
years.
boop, beep.
I like that they all have backstories as to why they're there, and
Yeah.
that they all show up on different ships, for the most part.
Yeah,
that's cool.
The Rattling snipers brothers are there just to literally loot the place. Janik is there because of his writ from the Emperor, who obviously, or Malkador, whoever the fuck's still alive and in charge over there, sent him to.
I mean,
to check it
spoilers,
out.
but Malkador is very dead.
Nope, haven't got that far in the book series yet, so still alive.
Spoilers. The Emperor
Is alive on the Golden Throne,
very
Well,
dead.
I mean, he's kind of dead. Kind of.
just like my sex life.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll
Oh,
take
where's
that
that
one.
trumpet?
I'll take that one before you guys get.
Dude, it's too late.
yeah. Unlike his sex life. Oh, it's too late.
Yeah, you blew it.
Oh, I blew it.
Yeah.
Just like my sex life. All right, so there it is. There it is. So we were talking about the fortress, and then Danny got all excited for the war in heaven, and John and I said, "What's the war in heaven, Danny? You
Yeah.
should tell us all about it this next podcast."
Yeah. So Dave and I did very little research.
Zero research, actually.
And then Danny came back and was like, "Hey guys, let's talk about the war in heaven because
I-
this is like a really major part of 40K and kind of how the universe is built."
Like, to be honest, it's probably the most significant historical event in the entirety of 40K. It explains.
Oh wait, you were serious?
Yeah, dude.
Weird timing. All right. Weird flex, but okay.
Yeah. So about 60 million years ago. So literally, like when there were dinosaurs on Earth, right?
Allegedly.
Before dinosaurs.
No, it's not before dinosaurs. It's actually after dinosaurs. So there were mammals.
Allegedly.
Sure. We'll go. Shut up. Okay,
So-
you know
so
what?
Is,
You know what?
Is the war of heaven BE or AD?
Before the Emperor
Before
or
Emp
after the Emperor.
or after?
Isn't the Emperor timeless pretty much?
before the Emperor.
Oh, okay.
Because
Okay.
there were no humans.
Oh, yeah.
You said
fair.
there were mammals.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that. Humans are mammals, but
Well, there you go.
Eldar might be mammals. We don't know.
No.
No, they're not.
Anyway, so 60. So the Necrons, right? Were a super technologically advanced race. They were super scientists.
Right, but they all
They're
kept,
United League
they
of
were
Atheists.
but they all,
covered in-
they all kept dying from cancer.
Right.
Right, because their sons sucked, and so their lives were short, and they couldn't accomplish too much. So they came in contact with the old ones, and they were like, "Hey guys, can you help a bro out here? Like, we're dying from this horrible cancer, like from our sun, like is killing us, and it'll wipe out our species.
And they're like, could you invent a spaceship? And they're like, fuck you, this is my home.
They're like, well, can you save our race? And they were like, nah, we're good.
That sounds
about
right.
Naturally, this pissed the Necrons off super hard, so they devoted the entirety of their being to like war, and so they created all this esoteric technology, and they went to battle with the old ones. I think it started out pretty good because they were probably able to launch some surprise attacks, the treacherous fiends that they are, and they were able to do some good damage. But then the old ones were like, okay, guys, like we've got psychic powers, we've got the webway. We're gonna kick your ass.
So I imagine it kind of like that episode of Rick and Morty where the old ones are like, "Show me what you got."
Yeah, exactly.
And then the Necrontyr kind of just like launch all of the attacks, and he's just like, "Boo, not cool."
Yeah, no, that seems accurate.
Yeah, because they're like, "Yeah, we're making advances," and he's just like, "Ow."
So the old ones with their psychic might, and their ability to like gene craft like new races. So they create the orcs to fight the Necrons. They create the Eldar to fight the Necrons. In addition, and other races. Who knows how many races the Necrons actually wiped out before that?
I think it's great that you put all of your time and energy and effort hating a race. Like the Necrontyr hated the old ones, and they're like, "Fuck you, we're gonna fucking murder you." And the old ones couldn't even be bothered to fight them themselves. They're like, "Okay, here's some orcs, go fight them."
So
and then they went back to their conversation.
I look at it more like they crafted the stuff to fight the Necrontyr because the Necrontyr kept getting stronger and stronger, and they were like, "Oh shit, well we're gonna have to deal with this, so we'll make this to go fight them." And
or maybe it's like, when I throw a ball for my dog, and my dog runs away for a bit chasing the ball, but then he comes back, and you're like, "Fuck, she didn't bring the ball back."
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. There you go.
Right. I mean,
It's an
It's the same.
I guess.
It's an all-powerful race of gods.
they're not
and
all
one
powerful.
planet
Clearly.
of cancer patients. It's
Well, the cancer patients just have this will to live that the supreme gods just don't. They don't understand what it's like to be mortal.
So if
fair.
But where are the old ones now? I mean, if they're still around,
We'll
still
get to that.
existing.
Oh,
snap.
spoilers.
All right.
Spoilers.
Tell me, Danny, where are the old ones?
We'll get to that. We still have a long way to go here, Dave. On this tale of.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
Intrigue.
so the old ones are just whooping the Necrontyr's ass. Like, not necessarily just like I think the Eldar and Orcs end up creating those later on. When the Necrontyr, because the Necrontyr get pushed back basically to like some some small settlements and stuff like that, wherein they discover the Satan basically feeding on stars. And so
Now the Satan, he was also one of the old ones, right?
no.
No, it was
No?
a group of gods. It was like
They're like supreme celestial beings. They were pure energy originally until the Necrons were able to the
Great.
Satan
Now
were
I have
able to.
Information Society in my head.
No, it's okay.
you're all good, man.
Yeah,
It's-
No,
Yeah.
I mean I now have a song. I have pure energy song stuck in my head now.
okay,
Thanks.
because I was
you're
going to say in references you'd understand.
Right.
The Necrontyr are like the Axis, whereas the old ones are like the Allied forces.
You sure it's not the other way around?
I mean, no. In all seriousness, no.
No, hold on. Let me rephrase this. So the Necrons are like the Spartans, Dave. Since and
Well, that's a terrible analogy. Just
the
because
old ones-
the Necrons would have won against the old ones.
the Necrons. Well, okay. So moving on.
Yeah.
So they end
Enough
up
analogies for the old
they
man.
end up giving the Satan physical bodies. And the Satan end up talking the Necrons into being like, guys, this artificial body thing is pretty badass. We could make you deathless, and then you'll finally be able to escape from this curse. And they're like, well,
No cancer in metal bodies.
that's exactly right, John. Thank you, Akbar. So they end up creating like these factory worlds to process all the Necrontyrs like into these new immortal shells, right?
Moderately immortal. They can still
I
die.
imagine the
not
factories.
not by age, but definitely by.
I imagine these factories to be like kind of like a 1930s Mickey Mouse cartoon where everything's bouncing on its way on the production line along.
Yeah, it's like that.
like-
I imagine it's
so
like that.
what
Or
are
the
they-
slaughterhouse. And like the Satan basically feed on the Necrons dying. They're able to feed on the energy, so they become like bloated with all this energy. And they've built into these factories the ability to control the Necrons, like mind, body, soul, more or less. So the Necrons become the slaves of the Satan. But now with these new bodies and like they're extremely durable, like they start beating the shit out of the old ones. And so the old ones like manufacture the orcs without a fear of death because of the Nightbringer.
Yep.
Because everything else the old ones make is like afraid of the Nightbringer because of the amount, the millions and millions and billions of people that he's killed. That's why, like, the rumor is that's why everybody has like a Grim Reaper type figure in their mythology.
Yeah, it's because of the Nightbringer.
All right.
And so, the orcs fail though because they're just not powerful enough. The Eldar fail because
I think the Eldar were first, right?
I think
because they were afraid that they
maybe.
were like, yeah, we're dude. Oh, what's this Grim Reaper dude? We're out. Sorry, and they went fine.
Well, no,
so orc time.
no, because the Eldar. Okay, so what ends up happening is, and this is kind of the recant of the fluff based on the new Necron book, wherein
love it when that happens.
well, so they kind of clarify some things, right?
Deathbringer Native Americans.
So
I am altering the deal. Pray I
perfect. Thank you for that.
Yes, well done.
So the Necrons get sick of this shit from the Satan. They're like, yeah, we're not going to be your fucking slaves anymore after they've been winning this war. So they design technology and they shatter the Satan, like their physical shells, into like thousands of shards, and then they control these shards.
Oh, so they basically turn their ship around and hit hyperspace right through the Satan.
Sure.
Got it. Okay.
But like the effort of doing this cripples their race.
Obviously.
So like now the Eldar are resurgent, and the Eldar are going to take them down. So instead of like being slaughtered by the Eldar, the Necrons decide to put themselves into stasis and wait until the Eldar have diminished, and then they can rise and take control of the galaxy again.
And, being robots basically now.
Sure.
They can do that for a long period of time.
Yeah, totally.
So how did the Tyranids factor in? Because I was under the impression that the old ones also created the Tyranids.
Maybe. I mean, nobody would know that. The Tyranids seem like they come from outside the galaxy.
Yeah, from what I read in the Tyranid book, the Tyranid, because there's a part in the Horus Heresy book where, like, I think there's a psychic flare comes off of a planet, and that's what first attracts the Tyranids to our galaxy.
Oh, cool.
There's one of the excerpts
what-
in the Horus Heresy. Oh, I can't remember which one it is, but it's like the first flare, and there's like an epilogue to the book, which is like this growing consciousness kind of changing course and starting to move towards like the galaxy.
Oh, cool.
And it just takes them like a long ass time to get there.
Yeah. Well, because Tyranids don't travel through the warp, really. I mean, I think they just travel through weird propulsion.
That's actually just the best. They just travel through. That's the
Yeah.
best way to put
They
it.
just really slowly float through space and
Yeah.
chomp on down on things there. But I did hear kind of maybe on the older fluff that Tyranids were part of like the old ones, kind of like, well, fuck it.
Fail
We'll just-
safe, right?
Fail safe. Like, fuck it. We'll just start again. Like go eat everything.
Sure.
But
And
also,
the hive mind could be an old one, right?
Yeah, but I do kind of also like the idea that they're just this mysterious force from far away.
Sure.
Just fucking things up.
Oh yeah, and speaking of the old ones, I guess that like the Necrons end up wiping them out after they in turn supposedly, right? After they have suffered from an enslaver plague.
Oh, dude, enslavers are rad.
Yeah, enslavers fucked up and the enslavers are like the perfect thing to fuck up the old ones, right? Because they feed on all that psychic energy, and then like, and if they manage to get a hold of one, that would be the death of the entire race.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay. So what else? Tell me more about the rest of this war.
I mean, that's in a nutshell, Dave. That's the entire war. Like they don't have recorded battles or. Because I mean, this happened like 60 million years ago.
Yeah, but I think what's really nice about it,
mean,
is it
Yeah, but it
explains
was written like 20 years ago. So
Well, fair.
what I like about it is it explains a lot of the Xenos stuff. Because I mean, we all know what happens with the Imperium and how man gets to this point, right?
Sure.
But like the orcs, like how does a mushroom creature get to be right here? Like how is it not just elves in space, right?
So this is one thing that I found interesting in doing research, right? So a lot of people make the claim that the Eldar aren't able to actually advance their technology at all, and they're stuck at the level that the old ones taught them to do, and they aren't able to go back or forward. So like they can't make fire.
Oh, really?
So, but like, because there's no evidence of that, right?
Right.
But they have all this technology, like they can grow wraithstone and stuff like that, but they don't necessarily understand it.
Right, they can grow guns and bullets and things, and they kind of sing the bone structures into place.
Right.
But yeah, they just kind of like.
But they don't necessarily. It doesn't seem like they maybe understand the technology. They just kind of go with it.
Yeah.
But maybe they do, and we just don't have that good Eldar perspective.
It's sort of like the orcs. How the orcs just genetically know
exactly
how things work and how to do things. Eldar just genetically know how to do things.
Right. Well, and the orcs are all screwed up because they're not actually the way that the old ones designed them.
No. I really actually like how orc society was intended to be, because the way it got fucked up is the most orky thing that I think I've heard.
All right, tell me how it was originally designed and how it is fucked up. Because to me, orcs have always been just the way they always were.
Oh,
So-
okay, cool.
Okay, yeah. It's good. This is a good one. Go ahead.
No, you.
No.
first,
You
man.
go. You go. I have.
Oh
some.
boys, don't fight over who gets to tell me the.
So actually, in the orc pecking order, right now it's largest to smallest.
Okay.
And in fact, the way that the old ones designed them was smallest to largest, like as far as like who's in charge. So originally the snotlings like were designed to be in charge, with like Gretchen being like the clever like engineers and stuff like that, and the snotlings were supremely psychic.
Huh.
Right. And like the big dumb boys were sent out to do battles, and they were just like meat shields.
Yeah,
on that.
shock troops.
Yeah.
And so remind me again how it got turned on its head, because I
believe there was something that the snotlings ate that gave them their brains.
okay, yeah.
Right. And I believe the bigger boys just started bullying the snotlings out of their food and wouldn't let them eat their shit.
And that caused them to get dumb
And that
again.
caused them to get dumber and dumber. And eventually, because the boys were stupid and they didn't decide to start eating the smart stuff, they all dumbed down to a might is right kind of race.
Sure, that makes sense.
And like I said, that's great because now snotlings are ammo.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's all they do now.
Yeah, that's all they do.
I mean, they used to be like a little base of guys that you could take, right? Like a
man.
little swarm.
I wish they were a swarm
Second
again.
edition. Yeah.
Sure.
I want my orky nurglings.
So, so Gork and Mork then is, since we're talking about the old ones.
Sure.
The orcs were created, right? Mm-hmm. So do they view the old ones as Gork and Mork then?
Maybe. Or those could just be psychic manifestations of like their beliefs in the warp. So kind of like the chaos gods.
Yeah. So,
Well-
all orcs are inherently psychic, right? Because
Well, yeah, they have to be because they do that. They do that. Well, this works, and then it does.
right. So if enough of them believe something, it's true. So enough of them
So they-
believe in a god, it's a god.
So they spawned Gork and Mork.
Because they have
And,
to have
and
something.
who knows, like Gork and Mork don't really take like a direct role in anything, right? They just like talk, quote unquote, talk to people.
Yeah.
So like
Maybe
they
it's
don't
just
like
corn.
Sure, or it could just be their subconscious or their or like a racial,
racial
gestalt,
trait.
right? Like intelligence. I mean, it could be a lot of different things.
Or a carryover from the fantasy world where they existed at the same time.
True.
Where
Well,
they
yeah, but now
actually
they're one
were
god.
worshipped gods.
Yeah. They're merged together now.
Yeah.
They're a two-headed orc,
Yeah. Well, merged. Right?
right?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It was better as a game system than a god.
Yeah, Gork and Morka.
Yeah.
So good.
Now the Eldar gods, though, right?
Yeah.
That's something that we could talk about.
Whole
I don't
pantheon.
know.
Hold on. I wanted to touch back on the Tyranids.
Okay, sure.
So the Tyranids were first drawn when they popped the Astronomicon on.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
so
that-
was that in?
So basically, when they were like, "Hey, we can
Master of
fly around the,"
Mankind?
I believe so.
yeah. So when they were like, "Hey, oh, thank God, now we can fly safely around," the Tyranids were like out there in the fringes doing what they were doing, and they were just like, "Ding, huh? What's that?"
It's like the dinner light. It's the open sign at the diner.
That's cool.
Well, somebody better do the Waffle House Index and close the Imperium Galaxy down so that
Oh, they're trying.
Sure would be nice. Yeah.
yeah, they sure are. But like the Eldar gods, right? So the Eldar have gods. Are they?
Oh no,
gods?
they were already. Tyranids were already on their way. It was Pharaohs was the book that.
Oh really? I haven't read that one.
Yeah. So Pharaohs is what initially that was kind of like a little.
Was it that reflector planet that they found?
Right. So
Okay.
it was like just like a little call there, and then the Astronomicon got turned on, and it was like, oh, we really got to head this way.
Right. They were like, hey, we should go. Some of them were like, hey, we should go this way, maybe. And then it was like, ding, and everybody went, let's go.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes,
I'll
we
have to read
should.
that book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I own it. I just haven't read it.
Yeah. Entire shelves of things I don't have.
So Eldar gods, without looking at your phone in any way, shape, or form, can you name them all?
Azerman, Aisha,
Enid.
Koranos. Well, and Enid is like new. Like that's not. Anyway,
She was
Cain-
mentioned in the fluff in the 90s.
Yeah.
In a little
Well,
excerpt
yeah,
in
like
the
a little
second
excerpt,
edition.
which
Yeah.
is so cool that like I'm sure for Gav, like he thinks that's the best thing ever, right? Like
I
hey,
broke
this
the
little
game.
thing, this little thing that I wrote became like an entire faction and turning point for the entire race, which is super cool. Anyway, so so I had Cain, I had Azerman, I had Aisha, I had Coronis. There are Vol. I mean, if I wanted to go back to like high elf gods, there's also Mathalan.
Whoa.
I don't know if he's in 40k or not.
He's not.
Yeah.
But
he's-
those 5 are definitely in 40k.
Yes. Those are the 5 that I mentioned. And you're right. It was a new guy. And it was technically only created after Slaanesh, birth.
Right.
Sure,
As I think it's Slaanesh. But
As a
maybe,
that's just me.
maybe.
or maybe a dark side to Slender, like a flip of the coin, right?
Yes.
So so back to our original War in Heaven.
So are they?
Necron tier go down to they become the Necrons. They go to sleep,
Yep.
and the world and the galaxy continues
Yep. Basically, the Eldar have Dominion, and then they fuck everything up because
because
they fucked each other
yeah,
up.
they
fucked
literally
everything, yeah.
they really fucked a new god into existence, and then like destroyed
Well-
half the galaxy with warp storms.
So given the way that the warp works, I mean, he was probably already in existence. It just there's no time, travels back and
Yeah,
forth.
maybe.
you know,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
I'm sure lust was a thing, just it was
Not quite on an Eldar scale.
And also during the War in Heaven is when they notice Chaos Gods come into existence, like Khorne and Nurgle, and the old
Tzeentch.
ones weaponized, like Khorne and Nurgle stuff as well. Like they're like, oh well, let's try disease. Oops, all right, that doesn't work. Let's try unbridled ferocity. Okay, how about
Whoops.
magic?
Crap. We need to create something that
That didn't
balances
work.
those out.
What about dicks?
No,
Oh, no, that was later.
That comes
Dicks,
later.
Dicks was later.
dicks and crab claws.
But yeah, War in Heaven
Name
kind
of
of
my
created
morning
chaos
show
as
in
well
college.
by kind of like fueling these emotions,
Right,
which
exactly.
fueled these gods.
Yep.
So yeah, it's kind of like, man, fuck the Necrons.
No, see, it makes me like them and appreciate their situation so much more.
Because they accidentally fucked the whole galaxy because
Yeah.
Why were the old ones
How-
being such dicks?
So how boring would the galaxy be at 40K if it wasn't for the Necrons creating all this other shit? You just have Space Marines.
Why would you have Space Marines?
Well, because obviously the Imperium of Man would continue by itself, unhindered by the old gods. Okay, eventually, you just in Warhammer 40K, you just have Space Marines, and you'd have Tyranids.
I don't think that
I don't think
humans
you'd
would
have
be
enough
allowed
Space
to live.
Marines. Yeah.
Why not?
I think the Eldar would just cull them.
Well, the Eldar didn't exist. I'm just saying, if
Oh, it's
without-
like,
if
if-
you go
if-
back and you
oh.
take all this stuff out, then there is no Eldar and there is no orcs.
Then you just have
There is
30K
no
at that point,
Necrons because the Necron tier died from
which
cancer.
you don't even have because yeah.
Yeah,
So if there was no War in Heaven, so if they'd never found the old ones,
basically, the War in Heaven is where we get all of the cool races that we want to
maybe.
play.
the old ones might still exist.
They're just probably napping.
Aren't the old ones essentially giant frogs?
No, that's the Slon.
Oh, so Slan are in 40K as an old one race though, right?
Yes. So yeah, like the old
I mean,
ones,
they're not, according to
Right.
current
Sure,
current
right.
lore. But,
but they used to be.
yeah, they used to be.
Them and Zotes.
Yeah. I'm gonna get me some 40K frogs.
So like Zotes, I was reading this thing about them. They're so cool.
Those were
they used to be.
They were the centaur looking guys.
Yeah,
right?
they were lizard centaurs.
Yeah,
with elephant feet.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
And so,
I mean, they look like basically a
2 out
smaller
of 10
version
would
of-
shoot with Dire Avengers.
well, they used to be harbingers for Tyranids. So they would go to a planet and
Right.
talk them into like joining, like that's like being infected by Tyranids or like
man.
joining with the Tyranids.
You know what we need to
Oops.
do is we need to just do an episode of retconned fluff.
Because how ridiculous is that, right?
Oh man,
Oh.
yeah.
Well, because you had squats, and you had squats don't exist anymore.
Man.
I'm sorry, they still exist. Beastmen, Imperial Guard people.
Still have those.
No,
Yeah,
you don't, but you do. You don't have actual beastmen. There used to be actual
Yeah, you do.
beastmen in the Imperial Guard.
Not in the Imperial Guard, but you still
No.
have Beastman.
Right, there used to be beastmen in the Imperium, and they were part of the Imperial
Suffer
Guard.
not, the Xenos
Yeah.
still live.
I mean, dude, literally,
Except the ones that can benefit us, like ratlings and ogrins, and
they were in fifth and fifth edition. I think they had rules for Beastmen Guard. Because
Yeah.
you could build your own guard regiment, and they had like aberrant type guard units that you could build.
right.
So
remember
they
that.
had dudes with no eyes. They had
it seems like a super effective guard unit.
oh no, they were good. I'm telling you.
Oh really? I was gonna
Yeah.
say
They
the
had
elite
sonar.
mortar unit. Sonar. Fucking regiment of Matt Murdock's going on over there.
Yeah, dude. Nobody
were
wants to
badass.
fight Daredevil. They know no fear.
Or
Because they're Mr. Magooing through the battlefield.
Right. Anyway,
I got that reference because I'm old. Yeah, so there it is. All right, so has that been the War in Heaven? And
Yeah, that's
our take
kinda-
on it?
Yeah, so that pretty much covers it. And like I said, it's a really good way. And like just talking about it makes me think that this is what solidified the Xenos background.
There's this picture in both the Eldar and Necron books that when they talk about this, where it's this like these 3 warlocks and maybe a Farseer, like with spears, and they're totally surrounded by the Necrons. And the Necrons look like they're trying to like have like a peace talk with them at that point in time. And I love that picture because it's like, oh no, yeah, Necrons can actually talk to people and like they don't just want to destroy everything that's alive
They don't just sound like a dial-up
anymore. Well, no, that's a tech priest.
Right.
Yeah, they want to fuck a toaster.
Fear consumed my every waking moment. It wasn't rational, but there it was, ruining my life. Then one day I came across a book called How to Be a Cheating Asshole. From the very first chapter, it helped me to confront my fear head on. In a world filled with easy answers and cheap solutions, How to Be a Cheating Asshole showed me that the way out of my despair was to use loaded dice and not declare what I'm rolling. Its message was so strong and so real that it put me on the road to a happier, more fulfilling life. And it made my fear a part of my past.
Stop by your local retailer now for a copy of How to Be a Cheating Asshole.
And we're back. Man, like I said, I didn't realize quite how much that coalesced kind of why Xenos are here.
Right? It really
Yeah.
does.
Yeah, I mean, you get like I was serious. You get rid of that, and you basically have nothing.
Yeah.
Boring.
Imperium's around because a bunch of shamans killed themselves.
Tau might exist, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know what the actual lore on Tau is. I mean, nobody who's
So,
good plays Tau.
They
so.
evolved super fast over the course of 10,000 years.
Yeah. By themselves on a little backwater system.
Yep. That got segregated by a warp storm.
Neat.
Like the Imperium went to visit it, and it was a bunch of dudes with sticks yelling at each other.
And they're
Came back
like-
10,000 years later, fucking Navars and Riptides everywhere.
Well, they were like, we should mark this world to cleanse. Like, because these guys...
Put this
we
on my
can't-
to-do list.
Yeah, so we'll come back with some ships and cleanse this. And then, like, the heresy happened, and the ruin storm happened, right? I
Right.
mean, like, that separated the
Yeah.
Ultramar sector, and that's how it got segregated, and they never got to it.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. It's exciting. It's good.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go pee. You guys talk about whatever you want.
Oh,
Oh, well,
Okay.
I mean, I think we're pretty much done here. Like I said, getting ready to fly to California on my half year.
that's awesome.
I know I'm excited. I'm going to watch 4 exciting nights of professional wrestling.
Dude,
Hey,
make sure you take some good pictures. I want to see some stuff.
I'm going to be on TV.
Take some shitty pictures, actually.
Why would why would you encourage someone to take shitty pictures?
Because
Like, ever.
John has never taken a good picture in his life. So.
It's not true. I have several good pictures of your mom.
And on that note,
Oh, but yeah, so we'll be back next time with something. I know Danny and I are going to delve further into Blackstone Fortress and kind of have a look in that set.
Yep.
But yeah, fuck yeah. For Mob Rules, I've been John.
I've been Danny.
And I've been Dave.